Hi, this is Dave and welcome to the Table, a series of videos where I review and discuss various board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. Today we're going to be taking a look at Choose One from Looney Labs. Now this is a 3 to 10 player party game in which everyone is competing to be able to predict how someone will answer a particular question in choosing one or the other. Let's take a look at this game, how it's played, and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, let's take a look at the pieces that come in Choose One. First we have this scoring board here, and you can see it's a scoring track. We'll start all the way up to the winner. We've got 10 spaces in between. Next we have these various player tokens, and let me grab you and show you what they are, because there's really no rhyme or reason or anything about them. They're just a bunch of various bits here. We've got a purple brain, we have a hex nut, we have a hot dog, we have a rocket ship, a wooden heart, a house, a car, a bottle, a gem, a green gem, and a black button. So we have a bunch of various different pieces that players can choose to be. We have a little velvet pouch that you can store them all in. Over on the left here, we have these purple and white cards, and each player is going to get a set of these. And they say, they have the question marks on the back here. And what you will do is you will use these to make your choices. Now comes the main part of the game. We've got 300 of these Choose One cards, and they have a bunch of different things on here. There's a white spot and a purple spot here. So, for example, zoo or the art gallery, New York City or Los Angeles. And there's 300 of these different cards that are going to be used for the game in which you are going to make a choice of one or the other. Okay, let me get this game set up and I will show you how to play. Okay, I've gone ahead and I have set Choose One up for 4 players. And first thing that I did was each player selected a token that they would use, and they placed them on the start area of this board. Next, each player was dealt a set of these choice cards here. So they received one that is white and one that is purple, and they will be using these to make their votes during the game. They have question marks on the back of them so that they don't get confused with the actual Choose One cards. Next, each player was dealt a hand of 5 of these Choose One cards, and they have 2 different things on here. For example, here this one says able to fly or able to become invisible, and I'll get to how these work in just a moment. The game also comes with some blank ones so that you can go ahead and customize your own copy of Choose One. Now, we will determine who's going to be the first player, which will be this one right here. So they are going to be called the chooser. Now, what they will do is they will go through their hand of cards here, and they will look through and they will maybe choose one. And what's going to happen is they will choose one of these cards and they will reveal it, and they're going to make a vote of what they would prefer of the two. And there's no bluffing in this game because the other players are trying to predict what you would choose. And then they are in turn going to vote and see if they can match what you choose and get points. So what I'm going to do here is I will reveal this card here, this Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. So what the other players are going to attempt to do is figure out which one that I would choose. Would I choose Wheel of Fortune or would I choose Jeopardy? And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my 2 choice cards here and I will place it face down next to it, and that is my vote. Now, this is what I am going to choose. I will choose to watch Jeopardy over Wheel of Fortune. Now, each of the other players in turn is going to select one of their those 2 vote cards, and they will all simultaneously reveal what they think I would watch. And so we've got a vote here, and vote here. So now I will in turn reveal I would watch Jeopardy. So what's going to happen now is we're going to score for this particular turn. Now, if at least one player gets it right and at least one player gets it wrong, everyone who gets it right will get a point. If everyone gets it wrong, then the person who's the chooser will get 2 points. And if everyone guesses it correctly, no one will score. So what happened here is we've got at least one that got it right and one that got it wrong. So each of these players here will in turn get a point. So we have this player here will get one, and this one will get one here. This is the second player, this is the third player. So now what's going to happen at the end of my turn is I will discard this one, and if there's any other ones that I feel like discarding, I could get rid of, and I will draw it back up to 5 cards. And then everybody's going to take their vote cards, their choice cards, turn them back upside down, and now it would be this player's turn to choose one of their cards that they wish to play. For example, here, we'll go with Footloose or Dirty Dancing, and they will in turn choose one of their 2 cards, and they will make a vote here, and everyone else will in turn make a vote at the same time to see what they're going to watch. Here we've got this one, and this one. He's going to choose to watch Footloose, and so these players here, this one got it wrong again, so this one has not been very good at being able to know what the other players are going to predict, but this one's going to score a point, and this one will get a point. So what's going to happen is this is going to continue going around until one person reaches the winner's circle, and that is how you play Choose One. Okay, let's talk about Choose One here, and it's an interesting party game because the whole premise of how you score points is how well you know your opponents and being able to predict what choice they're going to make when given a choice between one of 2 things. Okay, now let me talk about this game. We'll talk about the components first, and it's interesting because you open up the box and you look at there's this package of pieces and you're like, what the heck is this? Because they make no sense whatsoever. Usually when you open up a game, you see some markers or you see a few different things, or with the exception of Monopoly, you see a bunch of different tokens. Well, this looks like somebody grabbed inside of a drawer, just pulled out some stuff and threw them on the table, and they make absolutely no sense whatsoever. But it's Looney Labs, so do you expect them to make sense? I don't think so. But it is really cool because everybody's got a unique token that they're going to have on their board. And if you lose something, if you lose one of the pieces, chances are you have something else laying around that's either going to be comparable or just grab something else. Obviously there's a quarter or 20 hex nut that's one of the playing pieces, so if one falls off, you can borrow the piece from the game, make a repair, and then you can throw in something else later on. So the game has multiple uses that way. Now, looking at the cards in this game, they have a nice contrast on the card faces between the purple and the white, and the font that's selected is very, very easy to read, and it's a nice size, so you're able to easily read what the cards are. Now, the card backs themselves, if you look at them really, really quickly, they're the same color, but just look for the question marks, and you'll be able to determine which 2 of the cards you're going to be using for your choice cards for voting, opposed to the cards that you have in your hand. Now, this game, even though it's a party game, it's not an exciting type of party game like some of the other ones that are out there. You're not going to have a whole lot of bantering back and forth and a lot of laughing. This game is going to have more like responses like, really? Or, I never knew that, or no way, you did not choose that. So you'll have some conversation come from it, but it's not going to be as exciting as some of the other games that are out there. But this is an interesting game about discovery, because if there's a choice that somebody makes and you chose wrong, well, now you have gained some extra information about that particular person. So it is more of a game of discovery. Now, let me look at this game from a family perspective, because I think that's the best way to look at this particular game, because you can look at it from that discovery aspect. And being able to learn information about the people that you're playing with is going to help you in developing relationships with them, and then it's also the little bits of information that you've gained that will help you in being able to value the relationships that you have with those other people. For example, in this game, if somebody is going to choose either birthday cake or apple pie, and if they choose apple pie, well, guess what? You can make a choice if you're going to go out to take somebody out for a slice of pie opposed to a piece of cake. Or if you're going to be bringing home something from work, you can bring home a pie opposed to a cake. Or, you know, there's different choices that you can players will make, that the information you can use at a later date. For example, you can use some of the information in helping to select birthday gifts. Or if you're going out on a date with your significant other, if you've been playing with them, you may have a better choice of where to surprise them and take them on a date. And it's going to help you in showing value to the relationships that you have with other people because of the little details that you will know about their life. So this game is useful that way. Now, this game also I see to be useful if you are engaged in a small group. So if you are meet in a church small group that gets together for a study or for fellowship or whatever, this is a great game that you could bring out and play. Because it goes up to 10 players, typically a group doesn't get larger than that. You can play this game rather quickly and use it as an icebreaker for the evening and kind of get people more in the mood to want to know each other and be known and to get to talking, because this is a safe way for people to become more transparent about themselves. So it's very, very useful that way. And obviously, this game is really good for newer groups because not everybody's going to know each other that well. And so it's going to make learning more about each other fun. So that's where I really see this game as being useful, is a discovery type game and being able to get to know the people around you that you engage in this game with. So again, let's choose one from Looney Labs. So if you are interested in getting a bunch of people together and seeing what they would choose between two different things and being able to try and score points in order to win a game, then pick yourself up a copy. I'll have a link in the video description below that will take you to the appropriate place for you to get more information. Okay, that's it for now, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table.